Today's video is about the murder case of JonBenet Patricia Ramsey. It's almost the 20th death anniversary of her death this December, and her murder still remains an unsolved mystery. JonBenet was born on August 6, 1990 in Atlanta, Georgia. Then the Ramsey family moved to Boulder, Colorado. Like I said, I was 6 years old when she died, and she was 6 when she died. She's 3 months older than me. Look at that face. Isn't she just the cutest thing ever? She has such a beautiful smile. Just lightens up a room. She seemed to always smile and was always happy. She's as beautiful as a Barbie doll. She's cute and adorable like Shirley Temple when she was little. She's adorable as that little Debbie girl. In her honor, there should be little JonBenet snacks named after her with her face on a logo. That would be great to honor her. Wouldn't that be awesome? Here's the last photo with her mother. And this is the last photo of her hours before her death on Christmas Day next to her brother Burke. JonBenet looked so happy. So why would anyone hurt this precious angel? On December 26, 1996, as the Ramsey family were leaving to see family, JonBenet's late mother, Patsy Ramsey, found a ransom note on the kitchen stairs, leading her to go upstairs and saw she was missing. Yeah, so it was some ridiculous ransom note talking about, we have your daughter, she's safe, and if you don't get some money out of the withdrawal, they was going to kill her and stuff. Give them a call. If you want your daughter to see 1997, do blah, 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 follow these instructions. Unfortunately, JonBenet did not get to see the year 1997. She was almost there. She was almost there. But she didn't make it. It's sad. 8 hours later, JonBenet's father, John, and some friends went down in the basement as Mr. Ramsey went into a wine cellar room and found his daughter covered in her special white blanket. He was relieved until he saw the nylon cord around her neck, her wrist tied above her head, and her mouth covered by duct tape. The father also checked her pulse, realizing she was gone. Poor JonBenet died due to strangulation and skull fracture. There was no evidence of rape, but sexual assault could not be ruled out. JonBenet's funeral was on New Year's Eve, one day before the new year of 1997. She was buried in a white pageant dress with a crown on her head. And in this picture, that's probably the same exact white pageant dress that she was buried in. Probably had red lipstick on too. What sick person would take out an ugly ending for the little pageant queen cutie? Some say the parents, her brother Burke, or a man named John Mark Karr did it. Whoever killed her obviously lured her out of bed, leading her finding some pineapples and milk. The killer then hit her with a flashlight, knocking her out so no one would hear her scream. Oh wow, that's very genius of that suspect, jackass. Suspect takes child to the basement, sexually assaulting her, puts duct tape around her mouth, strangles her, and then obviously did something else to cause her to die. And I've seen like the marks on her neck. Obviously, it seems like JonBenet was fighting for her life. Fight for your life. Fight for your life, little one. But unfortunately, she didn't. How could anyone damage that little girl's skull like that? The parents, John and Patsy, were quickly accused for murdering their daughter, obviously. They say the father murdered JonBenet due to bedwetting. So a parent is going to murder their child because of bedwetting? That doesn't make any sense. Accidents happen. They say the mother did it because of jealousy. Why would she be jealous? She was a beauty queen herself. She won a pageant back in 1977. So why be jealous? Because her daughter won 5 pageant titles and the mother, she only won 1? JonBenet won America's Royal Miss, Little Miss Charlevoix, Little Miss Colorado, Colorado State All-Star Kids, Cover Girl, and National Tiny Miss Beauty. Oh look, it's John and Patsy Ramsey as their animation selves on South Park. Oh, South Park. Some believe her brother Burke did it, saying it was an accidental murder, leading the parents to cover it up because they lost one child. They don't want to lose the other child going to jail. The kid was 9 years old at the time. Not to mention, Burke was interviewed with Dr. Phil about what he remembered 20 years ago. The entire time, Burke is smiling most of the time, leading people to think he murdered his sister, since pineapples were found in JonBenet's body. So she was pretty much eating some pineapples out of the bowl before someone hit her in the head with a flashlight and took her downstairs in the basement. Even though Burke was smiling for the most part, maybe he wasn't smiling because he murdered his sister. Perhaps he is socially awkward when thinking about what happened 20 years ago, causing him to have a nervous smile, feeling uncomfortable. You know how people are known to have nervous laughs when something isn't right and they don't want to talk about something that happened in the past, like a bad experience? I mean, his parents pretty much wanted him to have a normal life and protect him as much as they could ever since JonBenet died. Why would a 9-year-old want to sexually assault a little girl when boys' hormones don't go wild until they become teenagers? You mean to tell me Burke was jealous of his sister due to feeling like she was getting all the attention? That would be so stupid. I said this before, jealousy is not needed. Plus, that case of JonBenet Ramsey special that was on CBS, I guess they're claiming that maybe Burke did it because I guess probably that night that was his bowl of pineapples and milk. And I guess he didn't like the fact that JonBenet was taking some. So because of that, he was furious. He decided to kill his sister over that. Seriously? A kid killing his little sister over some damn pineapples? It's just pineapples. Okay? It's bad enough this world today. We got some crazy mofos killing each other over dumbass things. Over food, fruit, shoes, shirts. It don't take all that, people. Common sense. Get some help. Fighting over that. Come on, y'all. The police seem like they're not working hard enough doing their jobs. As for John Mark Karr, he confessed murdering JonBenet, saying it was accidental, also drugging her and sexually assaulting her. Plus, he was also involved in some child pornography anyways. John Mark Karr's DNA did not match despite saying he murdered JonBenet. There was also no drugs found. The DNA mixed blood found in her underwear did not match Karr, despite him confessing that he murdered the poor girl. I also heard there was no sign of a break-in, but there was a broken window down in the basement. John Ramsey thought it was fixed over the summer. Well, you'd think the father would check just to make sure it was fixed. But apparently not. I bet the police covered it up, and it was actually some child molester pedophile who was close to the family stalked them, and he had a chance to break in, possibly through the window in the basement. Or maybe they accidentally left the front door unlocked and it caused them to come inside. My thing is, you mean to tell me they didn't have like an AT&T alarm set? If they did, what, they turn it off because he was leaving the next morning? Either way, set that alarm up. Anything can happen, people. Come on. I bet it was a freak watching her at the pageants. See these outfits JonBenet is wearing? She looks so cute in those outfits she wore. She looks really, really cute. And she was working it. Go on, JonBenet. But, you know, most of them are a bit too sexual. I mean, the way her legs are showing, she looks too grown up. Not to mention all that makeup, wearing red lipstick. She didn't need all that makeup. What was Mrs. Patsy Ramsey thinking? Having her looking like a little Miss Marilyn Monroe. I bet some sick, twisted bastard in the audience was turned on seeing JonBenet dressed like this. He figured he sexually assault her. Even though she's a little girl, he obviously wanted to do JonBenet so badly. Ew! Why? Gross. Little girls are cute, but they are not hot or sexy. There's a difference between a little girl and a grown woman. That's like a woman being sexually turned on by little boys instead of grown men. Look at Toddlers and Tiaras. Why has this show returned to TLC? The show ended in 2013. Now it's back this year for a 7th season? What are you doing, TLC? Look at the way this girl is dressed up. All sexual, her belly is showing. All that makeup. How about putting them in pageant dresses instead of this hot mess? Have the moms on the show not learned their lesson due to what happened to JonBenet? Some grown-ass men are probably going to be turned on by this. I bet the male judges masturbate to these little girls. John Ramsey said he's not even a fan of Toddlers and Tiaras. The reason why JonBenet was in pageants was because Patsy had cancer, so she did not know how long she had to live. She basically spent so much time with her daughter when it came to the pageants. John said they did it for fun, not for the wrong reasons. Despite that, John felt uncomfortable seeing his daughter in those pageants, and if he could, he would not allow her to be a part of those pageants. He also said that he would tell Patsy, just to joke around sometimes, saying, JonBenet can lose some of these beauty pageants. Despite him joking around, he did say that he witnessed some competitiveness that was pretty much unhealthy. Okay, so if you were concerned about your daughter's safety and you felt uncomfortable seeing her in some of these sexualized outfits, then why didn't you just say something to your wife in the first place? What, you was afraid she was going to get mad? And if she did, oh well. Her and JonBenet could have found something else to do, mother and daughter related. He should have just sat down with Patsy. He should have said, Patsy, my dear, we need to talk. Listen, I think it's great that you and JonBenet are spending so much time together, especially her doing these pageants, but I'm really concerned about our daughter in those outfits. I'm not feeling comfortable seeing her like this, and it makes me worry for her safety. I just think it's best that we should stop for the sake of our daughter's safety. Please. He should have stopped JonBenet from doing beauty pageants by the time she turned 6. Once she turns 6, it's like, okay, that's it. You had your fun. Find something else to do. She had her time doing the beauty pageants. And he also said that sometimes you're going to lose. You can't always win. But no, she didn't stop doing beauty pageants. She kept doing the beauty pageants until her unfortunate death. I mean, do you see what happened? Do you see what this led to? Bad tragedy. March 24th, 1997, the release of People magazine featuring JonBenet on the cover. What's taking so long? Good question. And on the left side at the top is the Notorious B.I.G. when Biggie was the rap victim in his murder. And on the top right is Jennifer Lopez for her role as Selena in the Selena movie. JonBenet should still be alive right now at the age of 26, doing what she wanted to do. Be a nurse or a doctor helping people get better. That's what she obviously would have been doing right now. In fact, here's a picture of her that somebody did when she was at the age of 20. I guess this is what JonBenet would look like if she was alive right now. Looks pretty accurate. That looks about right. At least she don't look like Katy Perry. I can't believe they came up with that conspiracy theory that JonBenet is Katy Perry. What is wrong with these people? Get out of here. And here this says, please remember me. And at towards the end it says, please find my killer. Okay, JonBenet. That's right. Find her killer. I want justice for JonBenet. Justice for JonBenet. Justice for JonBenet. Come on, y'all. Justice for JonBenet. Justice for JonBenet. Justice for JonBenet. This girl deserves justice. Something ain't adding up. Her whole unsolved mystery ain't adding up, and somebody obviously did it. I want to know who murdered her. Who do you guys really think murdered this poor, innocent beauty queen? Do you think her parents, John and Patsy Ramsey, were the ones that murdered her? Do you think her brother Burke murdered her? Or do you think it was just some unknown child molester, pedophile freak that just found a way to get inside the house, stalked the Ramsey family for years, and just went in there and sexually assaulted and hurt and murdered the poor girl? Tell me what you think. See ya.